Great. And before I go to introduction as well, I'd like to say a few words for Ice Walk in general and this year's production. Ice Walk is a digital art festival, mainly, of course, experimenting with different art fields in this time span of 10 years. We're approximately 10 years old, and we have as our base Cirrus Island, but um, given that we have many artists as our we call ice walkers and many connections in this field, we've managed to have some productions in different places around Greece, like Thessaloniki, Athens, Lesbos, going on. So for this year production for the 10th year, we going back to our base, back to Cirrus Island, and the topic for this year is psychogeography. And what we're trying to achieve actually with this year production is to rearrange and reimagine Ermoupolis, and specifically the port of Ernmoupolis, well, as we say, is the story of the full island of the full city. And we're experimenting, we're experiencing a new field for us, which is psychogeography, and we have the pleasure to have great artists and people who know about this model, about psychogeography, speakers, and people from all over the world. And the difference in this year is that the residents are becoming artists and the artists are becoming residents. So we have 33 people who are going to talk with each other. They're going to have a new dialogue, new conversation about psychogeography, and we're going to try to remap the full port of Ernmoupolis. So for the rest of this time, super short introduction about myself. My name is Alex, and I'm coming from Greece. I live currently in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and I work for the festival as social media manager and production coordinator sometimes for the past 3.5 years. And maybe now I can give it up to Bruno for a super short introduction before we go to Ba.
Hello, my name is Bruno Costa. I'm based in Portugal, currently north of Portugal, very close to Porto, and I work for Bússola. It's a small organization working in strategy, funding, and programmation for multidisciplinary fields of art, especially performing arts, but we also like to connect with other art forms. We have the same age as the festival, so 10 years. So we commemorate last year the 10th anniversary of the project. We mostly connect circus and outdoor art, but we have a perspective always to connect other visions and perspectives of art, including visual art, and we are thinking in the future to close also with digital art. So for me, it's quite interesting everything what you are doing as festival, and for sure what Ban is presenting to us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bruno. And Ban, do you want to give a short introduction, or you want to jump into your presentation where you have some things about yourself?
Yes, I can start.
Yeah. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I think it's because I can introduce myself during the presentation as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just share my. Yeah, I prepare some to share the multiple. Okay. Can you see the pages?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, let me. Yes. Okay. Yeah, my name is Ba Lei. Actually, it's my full name. Like the left side is in English, but the right side is in Chinese. So I'm from China, but 3 years ago I came to Geneva for study and for studying fine arts. So because yeah, so I was a musician, and now I'm thinking about I'm a visual art, but always when I like doing my study or everywhere, like people ask me, are you a musician? Are you a visual art? I think there is something maybe can in between. for example, like sound artist, but I'm always asking myself, what is sound art and what can sound artists do? So I think the story for me, the story for my art, I think it starts from 2008, when the first time I went to Europe. Yeah, with this project, I made this project in Geneva. It was 2018. I had the first artist residence in Geneva, and because I'm coming from Shanghai, so there's like huge difference between Shanghai and Geneva, because in Shanghai, like we use everything from our through our phone. Like we order food from one app, we buy things from an app. Like we don't need to go out, and we can just do everything in front of our computer and even our cell phone. But when I arrive in Geneva, I need to do everything by myself, and I need to cook by myself. I need to cleaning by myself, and yeah, everything is like super physical. So for this project, actually, it's like I use kind of high tech, which is kind of camera sensor. So it can catch the bone of my finger. So I did a program about I'm kind of playing a game but without screen. So it looked like no cables instrument, and I call resonance, which means I try to. I think the project is talking about I try to use the new technology to connect it to the physical world. So it's kind of the beginning of me to realize there's not only about the artificial world, which is like the things in computer. We still have the physical world. So yeah, and this project actually going very well, because I did almost 40 performances around the world. So from the beginning, I was very happy, because it's the first project I accept from a lot of festival. I accept from a lot of exhibition, but after a while, because like for after 1 year, I can't make new project, because it's hard when you make something like it accept. It just be accept, and you try to upgrade it, but it's really hard to make it happen. So at that moment, I'm really questioning myself. So I think I was thinking about, like, before this project, or even for this project Resonance, it's more than like high tech equal to the future, but I think it's more than like the whole concept, or whole I think it's also the art I was making about. I'm using high tech to create some art, and try to say it is kind of the future world we are going to. But after a while, I always question about myself, because like when after my performance, like I heard a lot of people, they very curious about what kind of equipment I use. So actually this really I think, yeah, I need to see clear about this. It's me, they like my project, or they like the high-tech equipment. So for me, it's because through this I cannot see which means I cannot see myself, like, because high tech is very powerful, and it's very huge, and the future is also a huge topic for me. So I really need to see myself and what I actually can do. So after that, I decide to like really back to the physical material, which is kind of wood. I never make I never touched the wood before, and because of COVID, and it was the beginning of COVID in China, and just things start to lock down. But it makes me a bit crazy, maybe under this kind of context. So I just find a very unique place in Shanghai. So I work with wood. The first project, it's about the sound of the ring, because the idea coming from one of the performance, like the resonance, so the gesture instrument I made before, because one of the performance which happened in Matera, like Italy. So when I was playing with the instrument, and I feel like I connect to something, and for that performance I always try to think back what happened during that day, during that night. Is that about the people? Is that about the ring? Because there was a very heavy ring before the performance, but when the performance started, the ring just stopped. So I try to get some elements to my word. So I just try to make something really physical, like there's no electronic inside of this kind of sound object. So yeah, and also this is kind of the ring stick. Yeah, I can show you a bit. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this I still can you did you hear the sound from the video?
I was about to ask, was it supposed to have sound or
There's no sound.
no? There was no. You need to
No.
stop sharing and then share, but click on the option to have
Okay.
sound at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, stop sharing. Stop. Ah, I need to click.
Yeah, stop sharing and Zoom, and then start sharing again, but make sure you click on the sound button.
I don't know how to stop sharing. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay, let me play this again. Let me just. Oh, what is it? Can you hear the sound?
Yeah.
So now you can hear a bit of the sound. Yes, actually, I still build that kind of machine that's around here. it's kind of like a CNC structure machine. But for this project, I'm still using a kind of it's not really, I think it's not really high tech. It's like lower than the camera I used before. So for this project from the beginning, I'm still thinking about, okay, I'm not going to use any high tech, but in the end, I'm still like I think like high tech at that moment for me, it's kind of gravity. So in the end, I still need I still needed some technology to come into my project. But for this project, it's, as you see, it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like 9 ring stick. So it's kind of the gravity. So it's hollow, and there's a lot of like small stone and a small balls. So when this side goes up, the stone can go like in here, and then they will hit a small struct. Yeah. And I did a performance like before I came to Geneva in 2020. So this performance is around in the August of 2020. And I borrowing all the instruments I made. Oh, sorry. How can I? Yeah. Okay. Up. Yeah. So I borrow all the instruments and I play piano, which is my first. I don't know how to. Yeah, when I was a child and I practiced piano every day, but after 18 years old, I just stopped. But at that moment, I was 28, so I think maybe 10 years later, I can touch them again and see what's the difference. So it's kind of the concept about when I use wood, because wood, I found every like wood in Shanghai, it's like a very, it's like kind of the material people would like to throw them, because now they are using more, yeah, they're using modern material to build everything. But wood, people think it's not, it doesn't have a very good value for something. So I think it's also, I try to bring something back to my life. So for this performance, and I did a concert, and in the end, I just share all the instrument I made with the people. So actually, that was the first time me and other people, we play music together, and that moment was really, yeah, it was the first time I touched by that, because I can't really realize at that moment, but yeah, but that moment, it was the beginning of my, yeah, the continuation of my project. So after I just go to Geneva. So the right side is all about the keynotes, keywords, which is the life in Geneva. Like I always working in the wood atelier. I like the nature in there because it's totally different, and I like being nature alone. I would like to read something from the nature, and I study visual arts. Yeah, now I have a better cooking skill, and low desire, independent, and also swarm, because I would like to talk about animal, because for me, I'm really kind of urban people, which means it's like when I grew up, it's like full of artificial stuff. It's like we don't have nature. Everything we can see. For example, if I want to, because I live in the center of Shanghai. If I want to see the nearest nature, I need to drive for 3 hours. So for me, it's kind of like I'm stuck in the artificial city. I think it's a very huge problem for the people who live in there. So for me, I'm really scared about animal. I'm like a natural fear about them. I don't know why, but I still want to get close to them. It's kind of the things I scared, but I try. I still just try. Maybe it could be better. Yeah. And
sorry to interrupt,
yeah, so
Ban.
swan and the lake and the precision, which means it's like when the first day I went to the wood workshop and the technician told me that he said like 15.3 centimeter is not 15.2 centimeter. But at the beginning, I was not very sure because before that, I'm not really care about the precision, but yeah, through last 3 years, I'm kind of practice this kind of precision practice. So I want to share a video with you, and this is about the
Ban,
last 3 years, the project I made in Geneva.
Ban,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 6 minutes left, so
Yeah.
you can play the full video because maybe Bruno has some questions.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Ban. That was a great video, actually. Bruno, any questions, any ideas, any whatever comes into your mind regarding Ban's video presentation, his whatever information he added there for us?
Yeah, maybe I will change a bit what I'm thinking before because I know we have short time.
Yeah,
So I saw you. Yeah, so I will try to be short.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So I saw you work a lot with materials and how this can produce the sound and you can interact it. But how was if you ever, how was in your experience, the relation with the audience or the people that you connect when you are doing your research? Did you have anything to share with us? Or is something that is more about you and you just share the results?
I think, yeah, I think so. I think from last year, my goal of art is changed, because before I just realized, like, maybe before last year, before last June, my artist tried to prove myself. Yeah, I try to prove I have ability to do this, I have ability to do that. But since last year, like since the project, I shared my instrument to the people. And I think that moment really touched me. It's like, maybe it's not, the art is not about you domain stuff. It's about, yeah, it's about something else, especially not about prove myself, prove I have a huge power to do this, to do that. So I think, yeah, I'm still exploring something in this direction, but yeah, I think it's
Thank you.
No, thank you,
Another
Ben.
short question
Yeah.
from you, Bruno. Like we have 1.5 minutes or something short you want to ask to Ban, or
No, maybe just a comment, not a question, because
whatever.
I think, yeah, that's why I think it's I have very good experience when and when the artists just start better understanding the people in their environment, and I think it's part of your evolution as artists. So you start by getting your own tools, and in the next level. So it's great where you are saying that last year you discovered that part when you give it to the audience. So just a comment that for me could be interesting to see how more people react to the things you are building and the way you are understanding the sounds. So I think it could be a good way to keep your own evolution, because you find your place and going something in your own specific direction with people that can support you. So it's
Yeah.
just that comment is more a comment than a question. And thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Ban. Well, that was it, guys. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much, Ban, for this amazing presentation. And thank you, Bruno, for your questions and for your input. I hope this session helped all of us here. And don't forget to be excited for the new Eyes Walk 2023 starting off tomorrow.